The forest path was quiet, covered in soft blue moss that glowed under the night sky. Mark Turner walked slowly, carrying his toolbox on his shoulder after finishing a late repair job in the nearby village. The air was cool, the wind gentle. But something about tonight felt unusual. Almost too still. He stopped. Something moved in the bushes ahead. Not an animal, not a human, something small and glowing. For a moment, everything went silent. Then he heard it, a tiny, choked sob. Mark frowned and stepped closer. There, curled behind a fallen log, was a petite alien girl. Only 4 feet tall, her body thin and delicate, like a child. But her eyes were too old, too tired, too full of hurt. They glowed soft purple in the dark. She hugged her knees tightly, trembling like she wanted to disappear. Mark didn't move. He didn't want to scare her. The girl looked up, fear in her eyes, then quickly hid her face again, as if ashamed to be seen. Mark's heart pulled tight in his chest. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked softly. She didn't answer. A leaf fell beside her. She flinched so hard that her small body shook. Mark slowly crouched down, leaving space between them. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. "I heard you crying." Her voice finally came weak, fragile, almost broken. "I'm sorry, I'm just small. Everyone says I'm useless." Mark felt his breath stop for a moment. This wasn't just fear. This was pain she had carried for a long, long time. He lowered his voice even more. "What's your name?" She hesitated, then whispered. "Ari." Mark smiled gently. "Hi Ari, I'm Mark." Ari peeked at him with wide, unsure eyes. Her voice shook again. "Humans don't like small things." Mark shook his head. "I don't believe that." Ari hugged herself tighter. "My people, my village. Everyone says I'm too small for anything. Too small for work. Too small for responsibility. Too small for love." Her voice cracked at that last word. Mark's chest tightened painfully. No one should talk about themselves like that. Then the wind shifted. A distant howl cut through the forest. Ari jumped in fear. Mark stood immediately, alert. Something dangerous was out there. The creatures in the dark. Mark heard the rustling of claws on bark. Heavy steps. He recognized the sound. Forest hunters known as fang crawlers. They hunted in packs and targeted weak, small, or injured creatures. Ari was all 3. Mark stepped in front of her. "Stay behind me." Ari grabbed his sleeve, terrified. "They will hunt me. They always chase me because I am small. I can't run fast." Her panic was rising. Mark held her hand tightly. "I won't let anything hurt you," he said firmly. A sharp growl echoed nearby. A pair of glowing yellow eyes appeared between the trees. A second pair, a third. Ari's breathing became shaky and fast. Mark pulled her close. "Listen to me. You're not alone anymore." He picked up a long broken branch from the ground, his only weapon. The creatures moved closer. Mark felt Ari trembling against him. She pressed her face into his side, whispering, "I don't want to die. Not like this. Not being small." Her fear lit something inside Mark, a protective fire he didn't expect. "You won't," he said. "I promise." The first creature lunged. Mark swung the branch with all his strength. It hit the creature's jaw with a loud crack. Ari screamed, covering her ears. The other crawlers backed away. Surprised by the human's bravery, Mark stepped in front of Ari again, sweat dripping down his forehead. "Come again," he warned. The creatures circled, then slowly retreated into the woods, dragging their injured pack member. Silence returned. Ari opened her eyes slowly. "You saved me." Mark dropped the broken branch, breathing hard. He turned to her. "You're brave for surviving this long alone." She shook her head. "No. Small is not brave." Mark knelt down to meet her eye level. "Ari," he whispered. Small things can have the biggest heart. Her eyes widened, shimmering with emotion. No one had ever said that to her. The walk to the cabin. Ari followed Mark carefully as they walked out of the forest. She stayed close to him, afraid of losing her new protector. The moonlight reflected on her tiny frame, her thin arms, her soft glowing marks on her face, her silver hair that barely reached her shoulders. She looked fragile, but Mark could see something else in her eyes, a quiet strength. They reached his cabin. Mark opened the door. You can stay here tonight. You're safe. Ari hesitated at the doorstep. No one ever invited me anywhere before. Mark smiled. Well, it's about time someone did. She stepped inside slowly, looking around like everything was new. The warmth of the home made her shoulders relax for the first time. Mark brought her warm food. When she took the first bite, she stared at him with shocked eyes. No one ever cooks for me, she whispered. That's sad, Mark replied. Everyone deserves care. Ari looked down at her hands, her small fingers trembling slightly. Mark, why are you being so kind to me? Mark shrugged. Kindness doesn't look at size. Her eyes softened, filled with something new, hope, the truth in her heart as the fire burned softly. Ari sat near it, letting the warmth touch her skin. She pulled her knees close and whispered, My people think size decides value. Bigger ones get respect. Bigger ones get love. I got nothing. Mark sat beside her, careful not to scare her. She looked up at him, voice cracking. I always wished someone would see me. Not my size, but my heart. Mark felt something warm spread through him. I see you, Ari. Her breath caught. You see me? Of course, Mark said gently. You're kind. You're brave. You're gentle. You survived all of this alone. That takes strength. Ari blinked fast, trying not to cry. No one ever said I was strong. Well, Mark said softly, they were wrong. Ari's small hand moved slowly, unsure, until it touched Mark's arm. Thank you, she whispered. For saving me. For talking to me. For seeing me. Her glowing purple eyes held something deep, something pure. You make me feel like I matter. Mark gave her a warm smile. You do matter. A family she never had. As the night grew quiet, Ari curled up in a blanket on the couch. But she kept watching Mark with gentle, hopeful eyes. Mark, she whispered. Yes? Do humans accept someone like me? Someone small? Different? Mark sat in the chair beside her. Good humans do. Ari took a deep breath. Mark, I think I want to stay. If you let me. He nodded without hesitation. You can stay as long as you want. Ari smiled softly. Her eyes glowed brighter, filled with warmth she hadn't felt in years. She whispered, You may be big, but your heart is gentle. Mark chuckled. And yours is huge. Ari blushed, hiding her face behind the blanket. Then she said something that froze him for a moment. Mark, I think I finally found someone who sees me. Someone who makes me feel loved. He didn't speak for a moment. Then he gently touched her head. Ari, you're not alone anymore. She closed her eyes, tears falling quietly. But they were warm, happy tears. For the first time she felt safe. For the first time, she felt seen. For the first time, she felt loved. And all because one human saw the big heart inside a little girl.